Have you ever heard of a sports league that rose from the ashes of failure to become a massive success? Well, let me tell you about the Extreme Football League. At first glance, the XFL may seem like just another failed attempt at creating a professional football league. But this story is far from over. With a rocky start, the XFL faced numerous challenges and setbacks. But what happened next was nothing short of miraculous. Against all odds, the XFL managed to transform its fortunes and emerge as a thrilling and popular sports league. So, how did the XFL turn its failures into successes? Let's dive into this exciting tale of perseverance and triumph. The XFL, a joint venture between the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE, and NBC, burst onto the American football scene in 2001 with a swagger and a sense of ambition that had rarely been seen before. Led by Vince McMahon and NBC executive Dick Ebersol, the league sought to challenge the NFL's dominance over American football and carved out a niche for itself as an alternative to traditional football. The XFL season was designed to run during the late winter and early spring to take advantage of the lingering desire of football after the end of the NFL season. The league promised to inject a sense of intensity and excitement that had been lacking in traditional football, experimenting with new rules and introducing on-air innovations such as skycams, placing microphones on players, and in-game interviews with players. Although receiving high ratings for its first opening games, viewership ultimately plummeted, and the league was disbanded after the first season. The XFL had come under fire for allegedly catering to the lowest-wage crowd by focusing too much on professional wrestling-like sports entertainment gimmicks. In the end, McMahon admitted that the XFL was a colossal failure, and that both partners had lost $35 million somewhat on the venture. And yet, despite its many flaws and missteps, there were those who yearned for the XFL to make a comeback, to see what could have been if only things had gone differently. The XFL had captured the imagination of a certain type of American football fan, who craved something different, something edgier, something that pushed the boundaries of the sport. Even as the league folded, there were whispers of a potential revival, and rumors persisted for years about the XFL's possible return. As the years went by, the memory of the XFL lingered on, tantalizing fans with the possibility of a return. In 2017, a documentary about the league aired on ESPN, sparking renewed interest in the once-failed venture. In the film, Vince McMahon, the driving force behind the original XFL, openly mused about reviving the league, acknowledging that changes would need to be made to make it viable and relevant in the modern era. A few months later, McMahon made his move, purchasing the trademarks of the defunct United Football League, an alternative brand called UFL, in early 2017. But he was not the only one with the idea of starting a new football league. Charlie Ebersol, the director of the XFL documentary and son of former NBC executive Dick Ebersol, announced his own venture, the Alliance of American Football, AAF, in 2018. Ebersol hoped to beat McMahon in being the first to play and launch his league a year before the XFL's first season. The AAF was able to launch in 2019, but it went bankrupt before its first season finished, after twice losing its major investors. McMahon, on the other hand, was busy building his own empire. Bleacher Report columnist Brad Shepard reported in December 2017 that McMahon was seriously considering a revival of the XFL, with an expected announcement to be made in January 2018. In a statement to Deadspin, WWE did not confirm or deny the rumors, but did reveal that McMahon was establishing a new company called Alpha Entertainment, which would explore investment opportunities across the sports and entertainment landscapes, including professional football. In January 2018, Alpha Entertainment had announced a new version of the XFL, a professional American football league that was set to begin with a 10-week inaugural season starting in January or February of 2020. The new XFL was planned to feature 8 teams as a single entity owned by Alpha, which was separate from WWE's management and operations. Vince McMahon, Alpha's owner, had been prepared to invest up to $500 million in the league, 5 times more than his investment in the 2001 XFL. The league had aimed to reduce the length of games to around 2.5 hours and had discouraged political gestures by players during games. Oliver Luck had been named the league's commissioner and chief executive officer on June 5, 2018, and Doug Whaley had been hired as the league's senior vice president of football operations on November 8, 2018. McMahon had stated that he wanted to play in existing NFL markets, but he had not identified potential cities specifically and had not ruled out playing on artificial turf. On December 5, 2018, Commissioner Luck announced the 8 host cities and stadiums for the first franchises and the starting date of February 8, 2020. Despite securing sponsorships from Gatorade and Anheuser-Busch and drawing an average 3.1 million viewers in the first week, the XFL's rating dropped to 1.5 million viewers by its 5th and final week, suggesting it was still struggling as a league. On top of that, the regular season games of the league were canceled on March 12, 2020 due to health concerns regarding large gatherings. In August 2020, the XFL was purchased by a consortium led by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Danny Garcia, and Jerry Cardinale, marking the start of a new chapter for the league. The purchase received a court approval and the transition of ownership was completed later that month. Johnson and Garcia immediately set their sights on reviving the league and bringing it to new heights. They announced the XFL's return in spring 2022 with plans to rescind the policy forbidding kneeling during the national anthem and instead openly support and encourage such behavior. Following the cancellation, the XFL filed for bankruptcy and was eventually purchased by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, his business partner Danny Garcia, and Redbird Capital Partners. The new ownership group expressed their intentions to revive the league, but they hit the pause button on their plans to collaborate with the Canadian Football League, CFL. Talks with the CFL eventually ended with no agreement. Nevertheless, the XFL announced its return in spring 2023 with a brand new identity. The league featured 5 of the 8 teams that played in the 2020 season, along with 2 new teams in San Antonio and Las Vegas. The XFL also announced a new executive team, including NFL Network analyst Mark Ross as its new EVP and Russ Brandon as its new president. On December 2nd, 2021, Danny Garcia announced that the 2023 XFL season would start on February 18, 2023, with training camp beginning on January 4, 2023. The league also hired Reggie Barlow and Terrell Buckley as head coaches. The XFL's return in 2023 was seen as a promising sign for fans of the league, and many were eagerly anticipating the upcoming season. Despite the setbacks, the league's owners Danny Garcia and Dwayne The Rock Johnson have persevered, and the XFL 2023 is on track to be an absolute triumph. One of the key factors contributing to the potential success of the XFL 2023 is the strong leadership and ownership of Garcia and Johnson. Garcia, a successful businesswoman and producer, and Johnson, a beloved entertainer and former professional wrestler, bring a wealth of experience and charisma to the league, which has helped to generate a great deal of excitement and enthusiasm from fans and players alike. In addition, the XFL has made a number of key strategic decisions that seem to be paying off. For example, the league had decided to focus on developing a younger, more tech-savvy audience, with a focus on social media and streaming platforms. This has allowed the league to tap into a rapidly growing segment of the sports market, which has been largely overlooked by traditional sports leagues. The XFL also made a number of changes to the on-field product, including rule changes designed to speed up the game and make it more exciting for fans. These changes, along with a focus on promoting player safety and well-being, have helped to create a product that is both thrilling and engaging, while also being responsible and sustainable. All these factors have contributed to a groundswell of support for the XFL 2023, with fans and analysts alike eagerly anticipating the league's return. While there are sure to be challenges and obstacles along the way, it seems clear that the XFL 2023 is poised to be one of the most exciting and success sports stories in recent memory. The XFL's journey has been full of ups and downs, but through perseverance and innovation, they have managed to carve out a unique space in the world of professional football. Despite its initial failure, the league's decision to return in 2023 with a renewed focus on fan engagement, innovative rule changes, and a revamped brand identity has generated excitement and anticipation among football fans worldwide. Its new approach to the game, coupled with the addition of 2 new teams, will undoubtedly make for an exciting and unpredictable season. Whether you're a football fanatic or just interested about what the XFL has to offer, there's no disputing that the league's success story is far from done, and we absolutely cannot wait to see where it goes now.